Together, SSNIT has been a steady pillar in Ghana's economic development. The trust remains one of the largest institutional investors in the country, channeling surplus funds into energy. We have heard about that already. Housing. Some time ago, any high-rise building you found in Accra was associated with SSNIT. Do you remember the workers' housing estates? Can you remember the trust hospitals all over, the clinics? Do you remember the schools, the students' hostels on the various university campuses? And do you remember the students' loan scheme? These among many, are SSNIT's contribution towards the development of Ghana, a resilient institution indeed. Very hard-working staff. Very hard-working and committed staff indeed. SSNIT's overall role in the socio-economic development of Ghana also highlights its contribution towards the sustainable development goals, particularly SDG 1, no poverty, SDG 2, I'm paraphrasing because of time, SDG 3, good health and well-being, SDG 5, gender equality, SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, SDG 10, reduce inequalities by extending protection to diverse categories, upholding transparency. We do this by upholding transparency and accountability in our service delivery. These commitments are reinforced through SSNIT's prudent investment and sound governance, which protects contributors' retirement income while strengthening Ghana's macroeconomic stability. Its investments in housing, infrastructure, capital markets transform long-term savings into tangible national assets that drive inclusive and sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one lasting lesson in our 60-year journey, it is that sustainability is rooted in trust. Trust built through fairness, responsiveness, and consistent service. It is the trust earned daily by staff who serve with empathy, professionalism, and pride. Technology may enhance our operations, but then transparency and accountability are very critical. As we look to the future, our task is to sustain and expand this legacy in a rapidly changing world of work, one characterized by digital transformations, informal entrepreneurship, and shifting demographics. SSNIT must continue to innovate, extend coverage to self-employed workers, and nurture a culture of voluntary and compliance built on trust, relevance, and value. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 6 decades of professional protection and national impact, let us pause and reflect on the deeper question. And what is this question? How can social security systems like ours evolve to guarantee not only income in retirement, but also stimulate productivity, intergenerational solidarity, and economic renewal in today's world of work? This, ladies and gentlemen, is the question that defines our next phase. A call to rethink, to reimagine, and to reaffirm the purpose of social security as both a safety net and a catalyst for national development. In closing, may SSNIT's next 60 years be marked by deeper inclusion, stronger partnerships, and even greater trust, to the extent that the next generation of leaders guard this legacy with integrity, innovate with courage, and remember that behind every contribution lies a life, a family, and a future. I thank you, and may the legacy of service continue to inspire us all. Thank you.
Very powerful. Mamio Mochunwo Ka Chene Jomo. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, when you own your turf and they give you to execute, it's pretty easy, isn't it? That's how it looks like, but she did a great job. I think we can give her another round of applause. She has proven that that's her turf, and she has delivered that beautifully. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are now going to have a panel discussion. I'm going to invite our panelists and a moderator to do justice to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite our panelists upstage, one after the other. I'm going to start with the first and only female on this panel. So, our first panel is a sociologist and a social researcher with over 3 decades of experience in social security administration and strategic planning. She served SSNIT in various capacities, including branch benefits officer and strategic planning manager. She's a former manager in charge of strategic planning at SSNIT. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Faustina Abranti. Please choose anyone that you like. Thank you so much. Sorry. Apologies. It's fine, you can go. Thank you. Our next panelist is an accomplished legal professional with over 3 decades. Okay, let me reserve this for the moderator, so you take any of these ones. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. So our next panelist is an accomplished legal professional with over 3 decades of experience in legal practice, corporate governance, and public sector management. He serves SSNIT in various leadership roles, including prosecutions manager, the Saturday morning people, and procurement manager. He's a former manager in charge of legal department at SSNIT. I think he's one of the most feared branches of SSNIT, if there's anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kofi Saki. Our next panel member has over 2 decades of experience in SSNIT operations. He has risen through the ranks to become general manager in charge of benefits. He provides strategic leadership to ensure accuracy, timeliness, and compliance in benefit processing. He's the general manager in charge of benefits at SSNIT. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Molbila. Our next panelist is a man of God. He is a social scientist, mass communicator, and lawyer with the extensive experience in public and private sector management. He serves SSNIT in various leadership roles, including general manager administration and human resources manager. He is general manager in charge of special projects and head of public affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, our panelist is a former general manager in charge of special projects at SSNIT, Reverend Kweku Osei Bimpong. Our next panelist is a retired public servant, insurance expert, and academic who served as Director General of SSNIT. Before his tenure at SSNIT, this person I'm inviting is a doctor, built an extensive career in academia, lecturing at various universities in Ghana, the United States of America, Canada. His expertise in actuarial science and insurance management positioned him as a respected figure in both education and public administration. He's a former Director General of SSNIT. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Frank Albert Odom. My final panelist for this morning is the General Secretary of the National Pensions Association. He is an advocate for the welfare and rights of pensioners across Ghana. He is strongly committed to fostering collaboration between the NPA and key stakeholders, including SSNIT and the NPRA. He is currently the General Secretary, National Pensions Association. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stephen Boache. Now, to help us moderate this event, I'm going to take a backstage and watch him to see if he can do the work of a journalist. If he performs, I will be threatened. If he fails, I'll be happy. So I'll be at the background praying hard that he doesn't succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, our moderator for this panel is the head of public affairs under the Office of Corporate Affairs at SSNIT. He was previously the head of marketing with the same division. He has several years of experience providing business and marketing conception, incubation, growth, delivery, revitalization, and corporate advisory services to entities in various sectors, including finance, service, media, consulting, and parastatals. He is a chartered marketer and full member of the Ghana Chartered Institute of Marketing in the United Kingdom. He He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Ghana, Cape Coast, I beg your pardon, majoring in sociology. He holds a Master's in Science and Marketing from the University of Glamorgan in Wales, and an MBA in Finance from the Atlantic University, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, our moderator is Public Affairs Manager of SSNIT, Lord Gramois. Need I say also that he's a key manager and operations manager for this event that we are holding today. He's my boss here. Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning to all of you. You will readily agree with me that that was a very powerful presentation from Mrs. Rosemary Saki. I mean, clearly her many years of service as a staff of SSNIT, and more importantly so as a one-time general manager benefits, was brought to the fore in her delivery of the topic, A Legacy of Service. I crave your indulgence one more time to give her a round of applause. Mrs. Saki's presentation was focused on the theme, A Legacy of Service, the evolution of social security in Ghana. Now, it is a theme that, in my understanding, is based on years of dedication. It speaks to years of commitment from SSNIT and a promise for the past 60 years. So my esteemed panelists here, I know you all have diverse experiences coming from diverse backgrounds. I do believe that you share your perspectives on the evolution of social security in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time. So with your indulgence, I will start with Dr. Odum. Now, Dr. Odum sits in a very privileged position. He's actually wearing 3 hats here today. First, as a long-serving staff of SSNIT. Secondly, as a one-time Director General of SSNIT. And thirdly, and currently, a member of the Board of Trustees of SSNIT. So he is in a very privileged position to start off with us. Doc, let me ask you, over the years, how would you describe the culture of SSNIT, and what lessons from those early experiences continue to hold relevant for SSNIT today? Sorry, Doctor, can you please draw closer to the microphone?
Yeah. So I was saying that in the early stages when we were providing only Provident Fund, the link between the staff and the people who at the end of the day retire and receive their benefit was not that strong, because you get your benefits and you walk away and we may never see you again. But as the system evolved and we moved from Provident Fund to pensions, then the dynamics became slightly different, because you know that when the people retire and leave, they will still have a link with you. So the demeanor and the behavior of the staff needed to change, because you are nurturing these people. When they become members of the scheme, when they join the scheme as contributors, that was not the end of it, because they are members till they die away. So they are with you from the contributory period to the pension period. And once they get onto pension, because you are going to pay them monthly pensions, they are still part of the system. So when we talk about members of SSNIT, both the contributors and the pensioners, so there was a need for the people or the staff to look at the pensioners with a different eye and know that they are still part of the system